Well, hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, but you can call me Pajama Grandma. In case we haven't met yet, go and put hashtag pajama in the comments below. That way I know it's the first time you're hearing my voice or seeing my face. Today we're going to talk about automation, all about automation. Yesterday we talked about optimizing the process that we're working on to supersize your business. Today we're going to talk about how to automate that whole process if possible, because if I can automate an entire process, I am all in on it. If not, then we're going to automate and look at automating pieces of that process. Whatever we can, we want to go ahead and put on autopilot for a couple of reasons. Number one, whenever we human beings are involved in any activity, especially a repetitive activity, we're going to have errors. As a quality manager, I learned that in corporate America and in my own businesses, that the more humans are involved in something, the more we're going to have mistakes. And not on purpose. It's never intentional. It's just things happen and there's variability in the process. And we want to take out as much variability in our processes as we can, because that will get us better, more consistent results. And we like consistent results, generally speaking. Now, whenever I decide what and how I'm going to automate something, I look for a couple of things. Number one, I will never automate a process if it's not going to give me consistent and as good as or better results as I get by not automating that process. We never want to automate anything that isn't getting us the result that we want, or that isn't going to give us the result I want. So as I'm looking to things to automate, I'm not going to automate something that I can't get good results from, or that's going to negatively impact the service or the product quality of what it is that I'm delivering to the people that I'm delivering things to. So maintaining the quality, making sure that I maintain the integrity of the process or the product is number one. That's my number one priority. And there's so many ways and so many possibilities of automating processes, but I look for anything that I do repetitively, anything that has to be done in a process or a step in the process over and over and over again that I can automate. I look for ways to automate that. I'll give you a couple of examples. I want to give a real concrete example from the Italian food manufacturing business, and then I'll give an example of what I'm doing to automate my content creation, since I'm using the process of attracting customers through content. That's the example I'll also share. But I need to give a couple of examples because I think that helps you see the possibilities with respect to automation. So in the Italian food business, we used to hand roll the molds. Once we put the layers of pasta together to make the handmade ravioli, we would have 2 layers of pasta and then the filling inside. We would have to rolling pin the forms to crimp and seal the sides of the ravioli before we could cut them apart and cook them. That was a super time-consuming, hard on our bodies process, and it's a lot of work. And so that was one of the processes that I knew, since we had to do it thousands of times a day, we had to find a way to automate it if it was at all possible. So we found this big, giant hand roll press for making pastries, and it was from the bakery industry. And we could put a form in and then crimp. We could push down on it, and that would press one side of it. Then we'd have to turn the form around, put it in there again, and press the other side. But it was way faster, and it did a much better job of sealing the ravioli all the way around than us rolling them in rolling pins did. So that was an improvement in the process, and it automated it a little bit. But then down the road, we ended up creating and engineering a piece of equipment that could actually put 2 forms in at a time, push the hydraulic button, and then it would crimp the whole thing with heavy plates simultaneously. So it didn't 100% automate the process, but it automated the process enough that we could get a lot more throughput and a lot more done. It also improved the quality of our product because it did a much better job. It did a consistent job of sealing the ravioli all the way around, so we didn't get splitters or waste from that process. When we'd cook them, sometimes if it wasn't sealed all the way around, you'd get a hole, and then water would get in when you were cooking it, and it would wreck the ravioli. So that's a real-world concrete example of a step changing to automate a process. Now, we didn't ever want to automate it, like make it automatic. Like, there are ravioli machines that will produce the whole ravioli for you, and part of that process is crimping or sealing around the edges. We handmade ravioli, so we didn't want to mess with the integrity of our product and the handmade quality of our product, but we did want to simplify and automate a process that actually improved the quality of the product, but also took the load off of us, made it so that we didn't have to work so hard. Now, with respect to automating the process of creating content so that I can attract more customers to my business, there's certain parts of that I cannot automate or do anything with. For example, I actually have to produce the content. Now, written content, I don't have to produce myself. I can get help doing that, or I can automate that with services that will actually transcribe my words. There's services that do that now. But as far as producing the video content, it's my face. I have to actually make the videos. But beyond that, a lot of the other things that I do with that content, almost everything I do with that content can be streamlined and automated. I use software tools to do that. I use first I use my phone, which I'm recording this on right now, which is a tool. Then I use my computer, which is a tool. Then there's all kinds of softwares that I use that are tools, like Facebook Live, IGTV, YouTube, and then all the other social media places that I can share that. And I can do that automatically using software and using tools. And so that's an example of streamlining those processes and putting them on autopilot. Now, there are services that will automate that entire process for me, but I want to be more hands-on with that. So I haven't gone full-fledged automation with that. But down the road, I probably will. As I get busier and busier, I will find ways to continue to automate that process. I think of automation like habits. If I find something that I want to do repetitively to improve my results and improve my outcomes, I automate that. It's like if I want to get something working better and easier and faster and more efficiently in my life, I create a habit around it. Think of getting up at the same time every morning. That would be an example of a habit that has a positive impact on my personal life, but you can probably think of an example in your life. So your action step today is to look at the process that you optimized yesterday and start finding places and asking yourself the question, is there a tool that I can use to automate this, or that we can create to help automate this repetitive process that might actually improve the quality of our outcome and results? Or is there a software or some other means that I can use to automate this part of the process? That's it. Go out and make it a fantastic day, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next step in supersizing your business. Bye.